Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great day and enjoying the sunshine wherever you are. Um, I need to do a quick update for you guys on a variety of things. Mike is not able to be here with me while I'm doing this live update, so I have no one watching the comment feed. So just so you're aware, I won't necessarily see if you post any questions to this. So more to just make sure you guys are in the loop and informed and know what's going on. So first of all, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to every single one of you who has reached out to me in a variety of ways to ask about participating in circulating the petitions, to ask questions about the petitions or other legal things going on right now. I want to say thank you to people who have provided me with information and trying to help me get through all of this, all the stuff that's going on right now and helping to keep me informed. I want to thank you, every single one of you who are a member of the American Patriot Rally group, from Ryan and Jason and Adam and Juliana and Erica and Ruth, Bill, both Mikes, who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting a lot. Dar, Ziggy, the whole enchilada, every single one. I know there's people I'm missing that I think I said out loud, but I didn't. But I want to thank you guys because, for like 10 million reasons, but this is going to be a short video, so I'm just going to say thank you. Also want to say thank you to all the amazing people that I have met very recently through the Michigan Lanterns for Liberty group. They're like my new family. So that and the American Patriot Rally group. Kristen from the American Patriot Rally group. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of others. Anyway, everyone from the Michigan Lanterns for Liberty group who is helping to really keep this petition drive focused and organized and answering questions for people. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you and the efforts you're making with that. Also want to thank the leadership of Michigan United for Liberty and Stand Up Michigan for meeting with me this last week and talking about the petitions and asking questions. I look forward to touching base with both groups. Hopefully in the next couple days here, I know for sure I'll see Garrett at the podcast on Tuesday morning, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to look at working with me on this Restore Freedom Initiative petition and all the other exciting things that we have coming in store soon. I also want to take a moment to thank all of the businesses and individuals who have decided that they are willing to be a petition signing spot where people can basically come anytime during the day and have a place to sign the Restoring Freedom Initiative petition. And it's great to be able to have stationary locations that people can stop in if they know they're going to be, near you, or they can make that plan to do so. I just really appreciate all of you who are stepping up to do that. And I should say all the people that are stepping up to sign and or circulate the petitions. Obviously, you guys are the key to all of the success right now, and I couldn't tell you enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. So a couple of updates as far as donations, because we've had obviously a lot of questions about how to do that and the different kinds of donations and everything. So there are at this point 2 different kinds of donations. We have the first set of donations is basically towards the legal work that I've been doing. All this, helping me with gas to get around to the rallies, to go to homeschool events or groups of people like I have coming up this week, to going to speak with business owners across the state or meet with people in Traverse City or Lansing or the other places I've gone to, Newaygo. So I appreciate all of that help that you guys are doing to either help to try to compensate for some of the paper, right? The thousands of pieces of paper I've had to print. We've had to buy 4 high capacity toner cartridges or toner things for my laser printer in the last few weeks, and so of course that costs a lot of money, and anyway, we have to replace the drum on my printer now and some other great stuff. So anyway, I just want to thank each and every one of you that has been donating to that side of it, the legal work and the the physical costs we have in doing some of those things. So for those of you who want to continue donating that way, you can donate basically in any way, because it's not related to, it's not for any election campaign, it's not for a ballot question committee, it's not for a political action committee, it's not regulated by campaign finance or election law whatsoever. So those funds can continue to come in as they've been coming, but to give you specifics, it would be easiest if there were one of two things. One, there is a button right now on the StopCovidChaos.com, as well as the RestoreFreedomMI.com website, and I also have it on my Facebook business page. That link is to be able to do online donation that way, and those will continue to come in as they have. I've also had a couple different people reach out saying that they were interested in doing things like a GoFundMe account or some other various things. My understanding is that someone is today putting together a GoFundMe account for the work that I've been doing, and I just don't have the specifics on that, but that is available as well. So to make sure we're distinguishing, though, between the kinds of donations that are coming for those purposes versus the kinds of donations that are specifically going to printing the petitions, that we had to create a ballot question committee for. And in doing so, we also, it triggered rules for campaign finance and election law. So those donations have to be done very specifically, and I totally appreciate them. It's not overly complicated, but just wanted to let you know that we'll have to keep it very clear as to which donation is which. So if you are going to send a check, either way, for whatever purpose, you can send it to, you can make it payable to Catherine Henry and send it to 7194 Michael Drive in Hudsonville, Michigan, 49426, and that information is on various different parts of the websites and Facebook listings, Google listings. But be very specific when you are using a check in the memo line. Either write Restore Freedom Legal Work or Restore Freedom Petitions. If it's the Restore Freedom Petitions, those are going to go into the committee account that will be opened, tomorrow at Lake Michigan Credit Union. And so that will help. The law says the written instrument or the check would have to say the committee organization on there. But because committee organizations are not their own legal entities, there's no federal taxpayer or EIN number, and so most of the time the credit unions and banks have required an individual signer's name to be actually written as to who the check is made out to. So lots of laws and different things, but basically that would be the way that would happen is just make the only difference between the two is what you write in the memo line. And also something to keep in mind is that for any donation that's made to the petition effort specifically for the printing and whatnot, there's a lot of campaign finance laws that come into effect. So everything that's over $20 does have to be either in a check or a credit card by law. And anything that's over $100, even if it's, might have donated 20 here and 50 here and 50 here, anything that in total is over $100 for any one particular person or one particular business would have to have additional information. The law says we have to record what your occupation is, what your employer's name is, and your employer's address. So the most common question I get is, well, I'm retired. How does that look like? Well, then you would simply write retired is your occupation, and your business is self, I guess, and your business address is your home address. So that's all information I have to have for that particular purpose, for the printing of the petitions, if you are donating money that way. Also important to keep in mind for those who maybe are a little bit used to participating or donating in campaign committees of any kind, ballot question committees are the one kind of committee in the entire state of Michigan where there is no limit on any kind of campaign contributions, and corporations and businesses and any kind of other association or firm can actually donate directly to the costs of these printing and things like that. So all the other kinds of committees that are out there in Michigan are not allowed to have those two things take place. But in Michigan, for ballot question committees, specifically like for this petition, those organizations are allowed to, and there are no dollar limits. So like I said, the only thing is if it's over $20, then it has to be by check or by credit card. And if it's over, and I do need the name, address, date, and amount, obviously, of the any kind of donation at all. So even if you donate $5 or $10 to this, I still am legally required to, as long as the donation is specifically for the printing costs and out of pockets just for the petition itself, then I'm legally required to have your name, your address, and I think that's it. Just the date and the amount reported to the state. So let's see. So there is an online button already available for contributions for the work that I've been doing on, going to the rallies and answering people's questions and giving them advice and trying how to open up their business, or dealing with a variety of issues, right? Writing these briefs. That online button is already there, and you can donate to that at any time. And I do appreciate every donation. I know the times are tough. I mean, I'm not the only one that hasn't earned any income right now, because you guys, many of you, are still waiting for your businesses to open back up and being able to earn that paycheck. Or if you own your own business, you have a longer road ahead of you, because you have to regain all those connections and have your suppliers in order and have your loyal customers coming back in, and hopefully they've gotten their jobs back so they're able to afford once again to come in and use your services or buy your products. I understand that there's, some things going on there. So that's why, any little bit of donation at all, by all means, you don't have to do that. But if you feel like you want to help in that way, I totally appreciate it. We talked about the online donations for that. The online donations specifically for printing the petitions and the other direct out-of-pocket costs, those are going to be available online very soon, but you can't set up a new Square or PayPal or anything like that account until you have the underlying checking account established. And I tried to do that online, but was not able to do so. So I have to wait until I can get to the bank, hopefully tomorrow, to set up that bank account so that I can go ahead and tie those other online donation accounts to that. But hopefully in the next 2 days, that piece will be there. In the meantime, checks can still come to this address. And I do actually have a lockable drop box that my husband will be installing today. It's one I used to use for my law firm when we were in Belding, and we just never put it up here yet. So that will be available, so you can actually just drop a check off if you would like to do that in there. Just make sure that information that we just went over a moment ago is included. So some petition logistics. I am going to do a short video that will be much easier to share all over social media very soon. As soon as I have this brief done, I will do that video. And that will go over more of the summary of what it's about and various things like that. I will probably go back in after that one is closed out, so that could be short and shareable, and then come back in and do questions. In fact, why don't we decide to do that right now? I think it would be great if we could say maybe next Friday would be the 5th. Why don't we do 4 p.m.? I'm going to do a Facebook Live. I'm putting it right in my calendar. Questions on the petition. Okay, so now that I have that on my calendar, so yes, Friday at, what did I just say? I think I said 4. This Friday, June 5th at 4, we'll do a Facebook Live specifically talking about the petition. So the very first part of that, we will do, I don't know, I'm hoping it would be like a 15-20 minute thing, but basically a summary of the integral pieces in there, as well as some of the legal requirements about how to circulate it and various things like that, maybe commonly asked questions. The other side to that, we'll close that video out, we'll come back in, and I will answer any questions you have about that petition. I'm going to just have two things on that, okay? So number one, I'm going to ask you that if you're going to want me to answer any questions or comment on anything on it at all, specifically to a comment or question that you raise, that you're going to put in the time and the effort to read the whole thing. I understand that you might not understand some of it, or maybe all of it. I understand that you might get bored with it or whatever, but in all fairness to everyone else who is taking the time to read it and taking the time to thoughtfully put together questions, I'm going to ask that you do read the whole petition before you, and it's all 4 pages, before you come back on Friday at 4 with any kind of questions or comments. The petition itself is available at, I have somebody coming to my door right now. The petition itself is available at the restorefreedommi.com website, and I think it might have been shared to Facebook. I don't remember. But anyway, sorry, I'm trying to get my bearings about me because of the distraction of having people stopping by, just like they were yesterday. So anyway, let's do that. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to ask about that is that you go ahead and read that ahead of time. Like I said, it's online. I think I was going to say another piece to that, but I don't remember what it was. So, but just keep all your questions on the particular to the petition there, especially if you're watching this video right now and you have access to watching Facebook Live feeds. Let's do all the questions that way in the comments there, instead of sending me a bunch of questions between now and then about the explanation or any of the legal pieces of it, because there's just so much to cover, right? There's so many questions that people have. I need to be very effective in how I use my time so I can answer all the questions and concerns that each of you raise. I've even had tons of people that aren't even from Michigan that are contacting me wanting me to help in some way or whatnot. So just checking my list here. Okay, so as far as some logistics about the petition, if you have any, and by the way, I did put much of this information up in the description of the words above this Facebook video live feed. But the restorefreedommi@gmail.com is the new Gmail address I set up so that my newly formed team of miracle workers can help me go through those hundreds of requests we've already received since I created that account less than 48 hours ago. And we just need your name and your address and your phone number if you would like to either comment. Am I needed for anything? Okay. So if you either want somebody to, your name, address, and phone number, if you need to get connected with us to get some petitions delivered to you, or somehow connected with you in some way, or if you just simply want to sign and you're super eager about doing so, maybe you're going to be leaving the state for a week or two and you don't want to miss opportunities at these various events that we'll have, please reach out to them for that. In fact, any and all logistics at all about signing, or where the events will be to sign, or different things like that, please email that email address, because if you email them to me, I'm just getting too many to answer them all in one day. and I need to do what I can to make sure you're getting the answers for the questions that you're asking. And so I have to delegate some of that. And those logistical questions are things that my newly formed team is super awesome at handling. So restorefreedommi@gmail.com if you want to sign, if you want to circulate petitions, or if you just have any logistical questions or concerns. They are the people that are actually going to be coordinating with you to make sure you have the information on how to, knowing how to circulate the petitions and how to physically get them in your hands, all of those details. I will also be doing a short video soon that's explaining the rules of how to circulate, what to do, what to not do, what do the signers need to do or not do. So that will be coming soon. In the meantime, we'll also have two bullet point little cheat sheets, if you will, about one for people who are signing and one for people who are circulating. But in the meantime, I have kind of a, I don't know if you want to call it a rough draft, but there's just a lot of writing on it. It's not as visually pleasing as like a quick bullet point thing, but it's a one-pager, and it's on, well, hopefully later today, it will be posted on the restorefreedommi.com website. There's a draft that was pulled from some other website just basically as a placeholder, but my document is being put on there hopefully later today. If you do already have petitions or you're getting petitions today and you need that instruction sheet right now, then please email and ask for that at that restorefreedommi@gmail.com address, because it's sitting in that Google Drive and those people can pull it off and send it to you or print it and give it to you either way. Also, that website, the restorefreedommi.com, so it already has the information we've talked about earlier about donations. It already has the information for contacting, the email for circulating and signing. It already has the actual petition language available for you to see. And I think it might have some information about a couple other pieces, but it will soon, very soon, have a calendar of events so that you can see all the different events that will be happening across the state that one of us will be at, whether it's myself, whether it's Kevin Skinner, whether it's both of us, whether it's Adam, or anyway, we got tons of people involved in this, and so we'll have all that information about the date, the time, everything right on a Google calendar that will be embedded into the website. So please keep checking that for updates. And we'll have on that website the list of businesses, like I mentioned earlier, for the businesses or homes, the people that are willing to be a one-stop shop, a place that Monday through Friday during these X hours or whatever, you can come and sign at any time. Obviously, if a business is more, for whatever reason, open more in the evenings or weekends, or someone's home is going to be opened up for doing something like that, we'll try to get not only the location on there, but whatever hours would be best for you to stop in and do those, being able to meet up with them to sign at your convenience. So for those of you who have asked in the meantime for the summary of what this is all about, the very top of the petition has the title, and then there's a paragraph that says a proposal to amend the Michigan Constitution, which, and so that is followed by, this is the 100-word summary that goes through the main chunks that are in there, and so I'd ask you to read through that. And I know it looks like it's a lot of, it's a lot of words right there, but well, that's a legal requirement for that to be there. It also serves as a summary to help you understand what the basics are and that whole thing. And like I mentioned earlier, it is 4 pages. So we have this page, hopefully you could see that. And then we have the whole next page. And then this one. And this one. So those, that's the whole thing. It is printed in varying size of fonts depending on different pieces of that petition, because those are legally required. Some has to be 8-point font, some has to be 14, some has to be 12-point font. So it might look weird. You might wonder why we're doing all that, but that's because it's what's legally required. So do make sure to realize that it has the 2 pages front and back, so 4, basically 4 sheets or whatnot. So let's see, what about that? and their legal size. So this is why you can't just simply print it at home. One of the reasons why you can't simply print it at home and just have it available, because you can't just shrink it, you can't cut it off. It has to be front and back. You can't circulate petitions that are just the signature page on the front without having the specific language and layout of the wording on the back. So please be sure to know that the petitions need to come from us so that they're done right. Otherwise, if you're going to spend time or energy or any kind of money on gas to drive around and get these petitions, we want to make sure that they're going to be good signatures. So please stick with the ones that we have given you, because otherwise they would most likely have to be thrown out, and we'd hate to have you waste any of your time, money, or effort. So we've had some questions about the Secretary of State. Some concerns. Well, people are saying, well, the Secretary of State's just going to hold this up, and we've seen petitions that are held up and they don't put it through, and it might sit on the governor's desk or whatever, and then it never makes it to the general election. This petition, as long as we get those signatures, this petition will be on the ballot for the November 3rd election this year. In fact, hey Mike, are you right there? Yeah. Can you, by any chance, hand me that stack of stuff for right there, that petition? Yeah, the whole stack. Yep, thank you. Okay, I'll give it back to you in just a second. So just wanted to point out to you about that particular point that was just raised. Article 12, Section 2 of the state constitution has a whole bunch of requirements specific to constitutional amendments done in this manner. And it says that the person authorized by law to receive the petitions, once we turn them in, they have to, upon receiving them, they have an official announcement they have to make at least 60 days prior to the election at which the proposed amendment is to be voted on, whether the petition submitted meet the validity and sufficiency requirements for signatures, and the rest of the validity and sufficiency requirements. So that says in the Constitution, not even state law, that they have to have it by September 4th, because that would be 60 days prior to the November 3rd election. And there's also additional other pieces in here, but it's a whole bunch of words of shall. They shall do this. This is not something that they can have wiggle room on at all. Additionally, our statutes in a variety of places have requirements that the Board of Canvassers has to review it against the qualified voter file, that they have to complete that canvass of all those signatures at least 2 months before the election. So that actually means by September 3rd, they have to complete that. Then they have to make that determination document available. And let's see, so the Board of Canvassers, actually by law, it'd be the Board of Canvassers that announces the validity or sufficiency, and that's under that would be by law by September 3rd. However, the state constitution specifically requires that the Secretary of State is going to announce the validity and sufficiency by September 4th, according to the Constitution. So either way, it's one of the two, and it's one of those 2 days that are back to back. So there's no, I don't care about the 1 day, but it's basically 2 months or 60 days before. And every single time it talks about it, it says shall. There's no wiggle room for them to just not do it, or, well, somebody doesn't want us to, or whatever. So the State Board of Canvassers also has to assign a number, like the, Prop 1, Prop 2, for each question that has been received and submitted that's valid and sufficient. They have to do that between August 4th and September 4th by law. And let's see. At any rate, there are specific requirements of them where there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Discretion. They don't have discretion on whether to approve or not. And if they are going to try to claim that the signatures are not valid, we are well, we're going to be reviewing the signatures obviously before we send them in. So we we will be ready to challenge at the appropriate time in the appropriate court. And I have absolutely no problem arguing any of the legal sufficiency of these things at all, because I have looked at all the statutes and all the provisions of the Constitution and the case law myself. And so I know there's some naysayers out there. I know there's some attorneys and non-attorneys alike that say, well, I know enough about this to know that's never going to work, or to think that this is a general revision of the Constitution, and so therefore it has to be done through a constitutional convention. This is not a general revision. And the mere length of the amount of words that are in there, by the way, has no comparison to one of the proposals that passed in 2018 that totally redid how we do redistricting. That one was much longer and in fact was challenged as being a general revision of the Constitution. But the Michigan Supreme Court clearly came out saying, no, it's not. We'll go into the details of all that, but this is not a general revision. The Board of Canvassers doesn't have a discretion to not approve of this. You know, there's legal requirements. If they're met, they're met. If they're not, if they claim they're not, we'll be fighting it in court. So don't worry about that. And we can go into more specifics later about that. Of course, somebody is calling me right now. So, hey, Mike. Okay, that's actually our printer, who apparently might have some more petitions available for me. So oh my gosh, a lot of people have been blowing up my phone since I've been doing this video. So just a reminder, or more of an announcement / reminder about the various types of communications. RestoreFreedomMI@gmail.com is going to be the one that you need to use for any logistics related to petitions at all. Signing, circulating, locations, anything. Reach out to that email because we have a team of people that are there to give you answers and monitor that inbox and be able to get back to you as quickly as possible. Please make sure to keep an eye out for RestoreFreedomMI.com because that website will have the calendar. It's already got the petition itself for the sample petition, so you can read the language. It's got you'll have the list of businesses and locations and events, all the information about donating and everything in between relating to this Restoring Freedom Initiative will be on there. So keep your eyes peeled on that website. The sister website, which is stopcovidchaos.com, is still up and running, and there will be connections and links between the two. That one will be very valuable. That has all the other stuff I've done to this point, various videos and documents and information from the CDC and other government agencies. Let's see. I will continue posting the pertinent things on my personal Facebook page. You can send me a friend request and I try to get through those as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're free to hit the follow button so you get notifications when I post things. And my business Facebook page, Catherine Henry from Michigan, I am also sharing the information on that page as well. And you can like that so you can get notifications on there too. Let's see, the Movement Facebook group. It's called The Movement, and it's being run by Kevin Skinner, and it's going to have, it's not for one particular, like Michigan United for Liberty, Stand Up Michigan, American Patriot Rally, or any of the other groups. It's meant to be a place where all of us can come together and know information about the various things going on and related to getting this petition signed and just keeping everybody informed on these issues. Let's see. So yes, Facebook Messenger has been increasingly naughty, and it used to do it, once or twice a day, and now it's like an all the time thing. What it'll do, and I really don't think it's a virus or any of those other things, but it's the only app that would have a problem where I would have my phone open, and it would do it on my Chromebook too. I actually had to uninstall it from my Chromebook a couple of weeks ago, but on my phone I would have the Facebook Messenger not open at all. I'd be typing or doing voice to text, answering somebody's question by text or email or something, and all of a sudden it would just randomly open the app and then open it on top of whatever else I was doing and totally stop the voice to text or whatever I was working on. That happens so often that it then is marking all those messages as read. So then if you go and look, you'll see the little indicator that looks like I have read your message and then I'm just not responding to it. So then if it is marked as read, it's hard to go back and tell, wait, is this one I actually read, or is this one that it marked as read? Did I already respond to them? Is this okay? So it was getting way too complicated and chaotic, and there's enough chaos in our lives right now. So I totally uninstalled Facebook Messenger. So please do not expect to get any answers from me from this point on Facebook Messenger. I most likely will not see anything you send that way. And if you are seeing any kind of indication that I have read your message, I have not read your message because I don't know how I can when I have totally uninstalled the app on both devices. So the next few days, if you watch the super long middle of the night update I did on Facebook Live on Friday evening, the next few days I'm going to be working on the amicus brief for the case in the Supreme Court with the legislature versus the governor, and I won't go into all the information other than it may very well have a decision in the next few days, possibly. So I need to buckle down and focus on that. So I'm turning off my phone in the next few days. And for family and friends, I have something urgent or you need to get a hold of us, please contact Mike because he will have his phone and we'll have, that available to be able to handle any kind of urgent situations in the next couple days. As soon as I'm done with that, though, I'll come back online. I'm still not going to do Facebook Messenger, and we still have that organized system for handling all the other communications in place, but I'll at least have my phone and email back on. So once I do come back on, though, please keep in mind that I've had tons of people message me through my Google Business Listing app. And those don't always come through in a very timely fashion. I've also had, of course, people Facebook message me or put comments on other people's posts on Facebook or post things to my Facebook wall or, call me or text me or send emails, stop over and ask questions. To the extent that you can, try to follow the stuff that I said earlier, and I posted in writing at the beginning of this Facebook video to help funnel your questions so that we can get you answers right away, because I want you to have answers right away. This stuff is moving very quickly and it's very important and it impacts every single person in the state of Michigan and many beyond. So please, if you can help me by utilizing that system put in place so I can utilize a great team of people to get you either the documents or the information or the answers that you need, that would be greatly appreciated. And so that's long term, even after, I'm back online, so to speak, in the next couple of days. So, of course, if I do see that there's a Google Business message or, I see someone has commented to my, on my post or put a post on my Facebook wall, I will try to address those, but they have been, it takes literally hours every day for someone to go through, and something you probably should know is that I haven't had the time to be the one to look through every single notification because there's thousands every day. So, and if we don't catch it soon enough, you scroll to the bottom, and I didn't know this until recently, but there's a point where you just can't see anymore. So I'm seeing hundreds, if not thousands, I can't count them all, but it'll go back about typically 24 hours. And once I get to that point now, it's, and sometimes only 12 hours, it doesn't even allow me to see anymore because there's just too many notifications and I don't want to miss them. But sometimes that happens and then I'll never know. It'll never give me a thing to click on to go and see what was the question or comment. And so anyway, I've been utilizing the help of my husband and sometimes the college student, Ashley, who's been donating a lot of her time to help me answer you guys and go through things and gather information. So anyway, they have been going through and, we're all different people, right? So my husband might read something and think, oh, she doesn't really need to comment or answer this. And so he might move on and not comment or answer. And maybe it is something that I would have commented or provided information on, but we're doing our best. And if you are seeing answers, I don't think you've answered anything on my behalf, have you?
I may have.
Okay. He may have put an answer like under my name, but 99% of it is coming from me. So he'll just let me know, hey, I found one that you really need to answer, and then I'll go and answer it. What? Okay. Wanda, I did not forget you. I said you're the very first person at the beginning of my thought. Of course you are included. And I thought you were coming. Are you? I think you are coming today. I think you were one of the people I was expecting today. So hopefully I'll get to see you. I told my husband to expect you. So anyway, and then a woman told me she thought the petition language was too broad. Can you explain to the public why the wording is okay and legally acceptable? I don't have the background to put her mind at ease. I'm going to ask you to ask me that very question on Friday if you have read the petition and you still think that it's not self-explanatory, which it might very well not be self-explanatory, then can you ask me that on Friday? Absolutely, that'd be a good question. My husband apparently wasn't listening to me saying that I have a method to my madness here. Okay, so let's see. I think that is it. So I am going to turn off everything. I'm not ignoring you guys, but I have to get this brief written, which I will once it's filed officially. I will share it with everyone so you can see that. And I guess I could even do a Facebook live video question and answer session about that afterwards. So the petition at that point will be the hot button topic, right? So thank you guys for tuning in and getting all this information. Like I said, I know I said a lot of email addresses or web addresses, things like that. All of that is written in the description of this video that I just did. And I look forward to working with all of you guys on all of these things going forward. And if I did miss any of you that I named, please know that it is not on purpose, because in my mind I can actually see everyone. I just couldn't remember then which ones I verbalized out loud. And Londa, if I did actually not say your name out loud, I am really sorry, because you were the first person actually in my brain about that, because we had just been communicating about connecting today, not that long ago. So anyway, thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful Sunday afternoon.